One. Hello, you guys.
Hi,
Welcome
welcome
to
to the
the
Women's
Women's
Cave.
Cave.
I'm sorry, I wasn't gonna wait. It's like 7 o'clock
No,
here, but yet I feel so late because it's
it feels
winter.
like pitch dark midnight.
It does. I was like, man, why is there no
And
sign?
for
Oh wait,
some reason, it was this
night.
dark, and I felt like I should go out tonight. I should put on some heels. Then I remembered COVID.
It's COVID out here. Bro. What
So
you
I'm
doing?
going
Where
nowhere.
are you going? Where are you going? Where were you going? Did you drive around the community and come back? Because that's like literally how people move now. Anyway, I'm Jay.
And I will know now. Thank you for remembering to introduce us.
I'm still just thinking about you getting all dressed up and putting on your makeup to just go sit in the car and drive around the community and come back. Be like, girl, that was the best night out ever. 5 minutes later.
And we wrote books.
Yeah,
which
we
happen
did.
to be literary life guys with pop poetry.
Although I feel like people wouldn't want life advice from us, right?
I think they would. I mean, we're going out safely.
Okay, anyway, and I thought the voice was bad with other life lessons, and I thought being grown up was easy.
That book's around here somewhere.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock in the evening in the winter. No.
Nope.
Okay, and I thought I did my journey alone, and if only I would meet a memoir in verse and the Women's Cave and other pop poems.
There
and
you
Misfit
go.
Guide. All right. So
Woo-hoo!
yeah, we and like all
Those
the
are
other
5
stuff.
of
Yeah,
them.
you can find out
Many more.
everything your ladies are doing on www.andwethought.com. Co-host today.
Hi, I'm Tanya Todd. I'm an author, actress, screenwriter, and the education chair for Henderson Writers Group.
I love that she added
And
the
she
educational
added
chair.
educational. That's why she has all the good questions. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
But y'all
She's here
are,
to educate.
I know. Y'all aren't here to hear about us ramble on and on. You're here to hear from our wonderful guest. Wonderful guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. My name is Boman Modine, and I'm a director, writer, and producer. Yeah, I'm here in Los Angeles, and so it's a little bit earlier here, and yet I agree with you. At around this time, if I don't start drinking coffee soon, it's just to bed by 6 p.m. So.
It feels so weird to say. It feels like you're old once you say it. It's like, that's it, I'm officially old.
I think it's like pandemic time also though. You
Yeah.
have to just like say it because literally if it was like 7 o'clock normal time, we would be like, oh, let's go to a restaurant and go eat and do stuff. And now you're like, well, I've been home today and I've done I want to do at my home. So I guess I'll go to sleep.
So how do you feel on this subject?
Yeah.
Of COVID?
Do you think it's the fall sun that's going down that's making us really sleepy, or that it's the fall sun and that we have nothing else to do?
Yeah, I guess. Well, we've been doing this for like a year now, right? Like COVID's been
Since March, yeah.
Yeah, since March. So yeah, I guess this is like the thing is that there's an interesting thing about the human brain, which is they say that every 3 months you get used to something, right? Like if you exercise for 3 months, it becomes part of your makeup, right? Like the thing that you do. So if we've been doing this COVID stuff for now over 9 months, then yeah, I guess this is just life now. You know, I can't imagine. I was watching a show recently. What was it? Not 30 Rock. What was it? Veep, if you've ever seen it. Yeah. And there's just this moment where they're like hanging out in a bar, and I actually got a little bit like kind of flustered. It's like, oh, what are you guys doing? Like in my brain. Obviously, I didn't just. Who am I going to say it to? By the way, it's just like. But I had a moment where it's just like, ooh, like that's not, you guys shouldn't be doing that. And obviously not everybody feels the same way about COVID. If you go to Orange County here in California, I'm pretty sure you can go to a dinner and a movie like it's 2019. And but I don't know, it's kind of close to me. I've known a lot of people. I'm originally from New York City, and I've known a lot of people with it. And known a lot of people part of the FDNY who have told me some pretty intense horror stories, and of the people that they know that have passed. And so yeah, I just don't mess around, So this is my home is my Friday night, Thank God that I used to hate Jeff Bezos. But now it's kind of like, what would I do without him?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, home delivery groceries. I don't know if that would be a thing if it hadn't been for him. And now everything is home delivery. So I don't know. I don't really know where we go from here. But to answer your, I'm sorry, but I play that off. To answer your question, I think it's a combination of the fact that we got nothing to do and the sun's going down all the time.
Yeah. The kinds of answers you get when your name means great mind, right?
Like, way to work that in and segue, but I wanted to come back to agree with you. Yeah, I've been watching some television shows. Like, why are there like 10 people at your table? Like, don't you want to space that out? Give a little space? And I'm like, oh wait, no, that was cool. And
they didn't know.
2019, it was fun.
Yeah, they didn't know. Yeah.
Auntie, you had a perfect segue.
Great mind.
Finish that out.
Segue.
Okay, so I read that your name means great mind, but is that what it means to you?
Sure. Okay, so I have done some research on my own name, Boman. So it's an unusual name. There are 6 of us, I think, on Facebook. I've messaged all of us. Nobody. It's a nickname to them or their first name that they just go by and whatnot. So they're frauds. There is one gentleman who is named Boman Modine in Africa, I believe, and I've messaged him wondering what's up, but he hasn't gotten back to me. Boman it means in French it means like a jolly person, very much like your mug. It's like just kind of like inspires like a lot of jolly feelings. But what my name means, okay, so my parents were in a supermarket back in the 80s, and I'm assuming that they were probably a little tipsy, because this is it's not a funny joke, but they think it's hilarious. And I guess America was going through like a utilitarian kind of phase where all the products in a supermarket were listed per gender or age gender. So toothbrush man, and then in the other one would be toothbrush woman, and so all of them were labeled like boy, girl, things like that. And I guess they thought it was really funny of like, what would a teenager be? Which would be a boy man. Yeah, see,
that's a great.
Yeah, it's rough, isn't it?
Thanks, parents.
So I guess that planted a seed or something in their head, and so when my mother was having me, he thought my father was very young when he had me, and he thought, I guess, that it would be really funny if my name was Mr., because then I would be Mr. Modine. And my mother found out that he had written that, and she said that, like, I will leave you if you just named our son Mr. Modine, not Mister, Mr. Modine. And so he like corrected it and was like, oh, Boman, and and kind of, so that is the etymology of my name.
Speaking of when you were born, how old were you when you were allowed to first see Full Metal Jacket?
That's an interesting question. Let's see. So I grew up in a household that, well, I guess when was the Gulf War? So I was probably like 7 years old, and I saw like a report on bombing runs we were doing on bunkers, the United States government, military, and there's like my mother, like, she relives the moment a lot, but she would see how all of my pictures were like flowers and trees and animals skipping, and then it turned into like burning and fire and people getting shot and stuff like that. So at that point there was no TV allowed in the house, and up until she was pretty hardcore about like not allowing me to see rated R movies and stuff like that. But I would say that I probably snuck Full Metal Jacket in probably when I was about like 11 or 12 over at my cousin's house. And my cousin had cable, had hundreds of channels and everything. And I would just, kind of sit there glued to the, just going through. And eventually I landed on Full Metal Jacket, which is, a horrifying movie for like an 11 or 12-year-old to watch.
Yeah.
Probably about 11 or 12. And I didn't know that I was born during it until my father wrote his diary, a book called Full Metal Jacket Diaries. I didn't realize.
Yeah, and I want to say for the people listening who don't understand the reference, they just need to go to your website and read your bio.
That would be a great segue into like, what is that website? I'm loving these segue setups.
Oh, sure. Just bomanmodine.com. I'm the only one, so it was pretty easy to secure my domain name.
Because the others are frauds, right?
Because the others are, yeah.
So before the show, we were talking about this is a place that you want to visit. I guess it's on your bucket list. What is that place, and why do you want to visit?
Sure, Utkavik. It's also called Point Barrow, but they renamed it in honor of the Inuit tribe that lives there. It's the most northernmost town in Alaska, and just the idea of like a month of darkness just really sounds like a vacation for me, because I could just also I'd be in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, and I could probably just get a really good sleep in. That'd be really nice.
Really good writing time. It sounds amazing.
Just go when it's a month of daylight, or actually I think it's 2 months.
No, I
of
can
daylight.
write at night.
Oh, you can write at night? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it would be interesting. It would be interesting. I like the notion of being able to go to a place of extremes. And I mean, what's more extreme than that? Plus, you get to see the Northern Lights, right? That'd be cool.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, if you like extremes, you should come to Vegas during the summer when there isn't a pandemic.
Wait, I can only. The last time I was in Vegas was at the end of 2019, and totally normal.
Yeah, the end is not volcanic.
It's just kind of like a really empty parking lot, huh?
Yeah, celebrate 4th of July here.
Ooh, huh. I just noticed your Star Destroyers, by the way. You're a fan?
A little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah. Force blast comes in really handy to keep people away during a pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, I just walk around with a yardstick, but yeah, no, I mean, force blast, that'd be nice. Are you liking the fact that you're about to get 10 different shows of every single?
I avoid spoilers.
Respect.
I don't even know all of the shows, but people keep coming at me with, there's this, there's nope. When it shows up on Disney Plus, I will watch it.
I see. Huh. Okay. All right.
So yes, I'm excited, but I don't even know all of it.
Huh. Okay. Have you been a fan your whole life?
Yes. Since my dad put me in front of the first Star Wars movie, he's like, you got to watch this movie.
Oh my goodness, that's right. We're getting a.
She said she's avoiding spoilers. We can't.
Right. I watched the trailers for a movie after I watched the movie.
That's probably smart.
Wow,
that's hardcore.
Wow, that's too much. You went hardcore on that, Tanya. I can respect it though. I can respect it. So now, if I never want her to read one of my books, I'll just tell her what happened. They'll be like, oh yeah, so this and this happened. Just saying. And the end was like this. So just saying. And then she went.
I used to know a girl that would read the last chapter first.
Oh yes.
And
I read the first 3, and then I read the last chapter. I'm still gonna read the whole book through. It doesn't matter. I just wanted to know how to.
You just need to know how it ends.
Oh yeah.
Why did she do it?
I guess she didn't. Yeah, she wanted to figure out how everybody got to the end. She'd like it.
But that's part of the fun of reading the book.
I'd like to interject.
I have to interject. No, I have to. Just one thing. One time I was reading a book, and my dad was like, "But you're only 13. You shouldn't be reading this book." And I was like, "But I'm halfway through, Dad." And he was like, "Okay." He counted in 3 chapters and gave it to me. He's like, "Because you need to know how it ends, how it wraps up." But the rest of the book, though, that's
what was the name?
Yeah,
of the book?
What was the book?
Yeah,
it was a James Patterson.
Kiss the Girl.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, "This is," and I was like, "Ace of Murder Mystery." And he's like, "No, this is horrible."
Yeah, that'll get you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was scared for 2 weeks though. I couldn't go to sleep. I would just be sitting up by my window in my room, I can't go to sleep because I'm so scared.
The first book that I read that really got under my skin was it was one of the Hannibal Lecter books.
Oh.
What was it? It was Hannibal. It was the book Hannibal, and I was working my first job I was working at a cafeteria washing dishes, and I would read the book in between my breaks and stuff like that. And that's a book that like follows you home. Like when you start, like when you're walking, and this is before we had like a flashlight in every smartphone and everything, right? Like
Right.
and that book got inside of me and like really messed with my head. Like I couldn't handle it. And there were so many things
You
I
say
didn't
you couldn't handle it, but you do like horror, so
Oh,
it must have tickled you.
yeah, I mean, I like horror in the same way that I think everybody likes horror that isn't like there's got to be a line, right? Like there's a difference between somebody that like appreciates costumes and like Halloween and then a cosplay, right? Like there's a distinct somewhere along the lines like Halloween once a year or twice a year, depending, and then Halloween every day. So I'm a fan of horror in the way that like I really love good scary horror movies, but I couldn't watch them. I can't watch everything. I can't watch like strippers versus zombies, one or two. You know, so it's
Yet you know that they exist.
I do know that they exist. They're I'm aware. or like Leprechaun in the Hood. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but like
I haven't seen it, but I have heard of it, and it does not appeal to me.
It just doesn't appeal to me. But people who are horror people, like it's if you've got, you know, buckets of fake blood being thrown around a screen, like they're in, you know, and I'm not there. So movies still scare me a lot, and Hannibal really scared me. That was one of the ones that got me. And the Bone Collector.
What triggered your passion for filmmaking? Because you won a lot of awards, or been at least up for some prestigious awards. What triggered that passion for filmmaking versus just writing?
Isn't that just like, okay, first of all, that's a really great way to word that question, because I have not won any prestigious awards yet. I've only been up for them. I've been nominated for an Emmy, nominated for a BAFTA, but never clinched it. So soon, hopefully.
Hey, you're closer than any of us. Like you had your foot in the ring, you know.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully get there soon. We'll see what happens with 2020, right? Like 2020.
Right, yeah. Right. What are you working on now?
So I was up for directing my first feature. I had just I directed this the first episode of this Amazon show called Dark Web, which is what got nominated, and everything was going really well. Like we were talking about a second season and things like that. And then I did that thing that filmmakers do, where it's like, you know, you could go for this sure thing over here. Like we're going to get a budget. We're going to have cameras. We're going to have people that call themselves actors and other people recognize them as actors. Or I'm going to take a chance on a script that doesn't have anybody attached to it, that might shoot in Eastern Europe, but it will be a feature-length script. And I took...
Where you can learn your craft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
so I get it. I mean, if you're going to get a fecer opportunity, it's hard to turn that down, because then you'll do better when you get the other opportunities again. Exactly.
And then COVID hit, and you know, we did that dance where it was like, okay, well, we'll push it. I'm sure that, you know, come March, this is all going to be fine. April, May, June, July.
Hi.
Yeah, right. And so eventually the people the financier walked away from it saying like, we'll just have to kind of wait and see. And I actually ended up shifting into animation, because it's a learnable skill. It's not, especially these days, it's not as daunting as it used to be. And what with so many COVID restrictions, I mean, obviously, thank God we've got the vaccine coming up, but who knows how long that's going to take for everybody to get it. There's a lot of projects being started in the animation world, and so now I've started a company that's only a couple months old, called Lost Legion Studios, and we're starting to get our first couple of animated projects done, because it's the thing that you can do in front of your computer wedged into the back of your home and safe from everybody. And yeah, it's an interesting time for sure. Yeah, but I guess to answer your first question, definitely ran away from filmmaking the majority of my life. I come from a relatively small family. It's just me and my sister. My sister's an actress. My father's an actor. My mother was in commercials, but on the producing side. Yeah, I just really didn't like how, I mean, the film industry is, I guess, is like any art form. It's extremely brutal. And watching, you know, my dad would be in a great movie and everything would rise, and then he'd be in a bad movie and everything would fall. And watching that push me, pull you, I wanted to do like the most opposite thing that you can do from being in the film industry, and that is joining the Catholic Church to maybe become like a priest. And that didn't work out. But then I was like, I enjoy a lot of aspects of you know, community, and my grandmother fell in love. I became her favorite grandkid because I was going to join the church. And so
well,
then
that answers the modern Socinian question. Like, what does that entail?
A lot of pontificating and standing on a soapbox in the middle of the street. And then I wanted to be a history teacher, so I went to school for that. And then I took a film history class, and it just
you are.
It was like, oh, I know all this stuff, and like, oh, I know that guy. Like, you're teaching, that's funny. I went to dinner with that guy once, and like, I know all these people. So it's just like anything where you're, you know, if you grow up and your father's you know, a cop, you know other cops, and then you probably, you know, like it just became that. And so it was 2010, and I shifted gears and started off as a production assistant, which I feel like every filmmaker should, especially actors. And then yeah, just a series of very lucky breaks in terms of just, you know, I took my brain as being a kind of a coordinator and an educator, and just applied it to a movie set. 10 years I've been an assistant director. Last year was my last year of doing it. And yeah, now I'm, you know, hopefully I've earned enough hours to start calling myself a creative that knows what they're doing, and that's what I'm trying to.
Is that why last year was your last year doing it? Was that a decision you made?
Yeah. I started off in 2010 really hardcore in the production side of things. I worked my way from being a PA to a second AD, or a second AD, which is, I wish that they would change the title, because it has nothing to do with directing. Assistant directing is more like a project manager. It's a non-creative position. It has to do with scheduling and making sure everybody's safe on set and taken care of. And I did that for 10 years, and I figured 10 years of doing anything is kind of cool. You know, you can start using the word decade, you know, and
well, as writers, you know, we appreciate word choice.
Yeah, no, word choice, you know, decade, you know.
But as creatives, we appreciate that you put in the work, because I'll admit, I looked into you to see if you were handed anything on a platter, and I see you wear a lot of hats, and you learned a lot of skills, and you put in a lot of time. No one handed you anything.
Yeah, you know, it's that came up recently. There was a conversation I had with somebody. So I worked for 3 years at the Apple Store, and I did that. Man, this was during the recession, so 2009, and man, that was rough. The recession. And that was when I had the biggest chip on my shoulder. I didn't want to ask help from anybody. You know, I was trying to move back home and live in, I'm from Manhattan, but pre-gentrified Manhattan. And, you know, I have a deep love for the community that I grew up in. My my mother's side of the family is Puerto Rican and from Alphabet City, and it was really hard to see gentrification come in, and so I didn't want to be a part of any association of that. So I got a job working as a barback at a bar, and I would do that at night. Then I would work during the day at the Apple store as, you know, not as a genius, like just a guy who sells computers. But the thing about the Apple store is that they allow you to have time to educate yourself. Maybe they don't anymore, but they give you time to learn the programs. And one of the programs was an editing program, and I got really good at editing. And so I then applied for a job. So it's my third job. My third job was teaching at the New York Film Academy, running their one of the people that ran their editing lab. And that probably taught me the most about filmmaking, because I got to see, you know, the kids going to school, you know, learning the craft, and then I got to kind of like apply my own life experience, as well as like trying to figure out how, you know, all the little pieces, right? And it was only in 2012 my father got a role in Dark Knight Rises, and I realized, like, at that moment, I was like, this is the only time. I guess actually this is 2011. This is the only time I'm going to ask him for help. You know, and I called him up, and I remember I was like, please, I've never asked for anything. Like, I think the only thing I had ever begged him for before was like a chess set, like a really nice chess set, which was like, you know, $45, $50. And that was like that's like the most expensive toy I ever really had, that I didn't have to share. And I asked him, like, please, like, hook me up, you know? And it was really funny because he was like, oh yeah, no, of course. But I don't know how to. I don't know anybody behind the camera. Like if you want to be an actor, like, I can help you.
Right, but I don't do that part.
Right, you're right. There's over 100 different positions on set. Like, nobody, you know, like you got to be.
I know my job, and that's not the one you want.
Right. Right, and it was just this really amazing moment where I realized where I had such a chip on my shoulder to never, you know, want to ask for help, to get into fights very viciously if somebody thought that I was skipping the line, not paying my dues and things like that. And yeah, no, I very much have earned. I can say that very proudly of my work. I've very much earned where I am right now. But at the same time, I will say that I do have, you know, if somebody hears my name, not Boman aside, because I have shook someone's hand where they have said, like, hi, I'm Boman, and they'll go like, no, you're not. And it's like, I have known you for 2 seconds and I already don't like you.
Right.
But no, I mean, I have name recognition. You know, somebody hears Modine and they look it up. They go, oh, this is your dad, and that gives me a certain level of street credit or professionalist some kind of professional consideration that other people don't have. And so I'm also very grateful for that. So, you know, I have worked very hard, but it's definitely a leg up to just at least have somebody consider your name 1 second longer when they're thinking about who to hire for, you know, often a position that has like 6 or 7 people going for it. You know,
whether you like it or not, it's part of your brand.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, at least you have a good brand. It's not like, oh, I have this name that it's just like this thing on my shoulder and I can't get away from it. You at least have a good brand.
Like super overtime, y'all. Just wanted to say it. I had to say it, right?
About 16 minutes.
Yeah, we're like super overtime. It was so fun talking to you. Winoni, I know you have 1 or 2 questions.
Yep.
No, I really didn't have any questions, really. I mean, it was just the narcissism question.
No, there's no narcissism. Okay, we don't have time for narcissism.
I want to know about if since you are now moving from assistant director to director, do you have when COVID is over, do you have the crafty table?
Do you have any slots for people that have nothing to do with
making a movie, but they just came to eat your craft services table?
Do you have any slots for those? Because
I get the narcissism question now. Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
Okay, we know two poets that would love to be there. Just, You know, like not talk to anyone, just be over there by the craft table the whole time. Just
Well, I just recently found out. I read this thing that apparently craft services, based on union rules, can touch anything on set. I just found this out. So that's actually a really terrifyingly powerful position. Just so you know, like craft services, the people responsible for getting people fed and stuff like that. At least in the world of the union, like that is a really important position. But every position on set's important. But you're asking if I have room on my sets. Well, you guys are back east, right?
for people just to come eat. Like we're not gonna say anything to anyone. We're just gonna be
Their
in the
dream
corner.
is to just enjoy the crafty cart, and they
Yeah,
ask this for all film people.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Everybody.
I'm gonna be
Absolutely.
like 17 cups of coffee.
They don't
Like
ask
with
for a
like,
role. They don't ask to be put in your movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh, may we come enjoy the crafty cart?
That's it.
Sure.
Like, that's
I
it.
thought-
Like I just want.
I thought you were asking if you wanted to be crafty. No, yeah, you can.
We just want to
yeah.
eat. Like we'll be like, even like if you want us to say hello to you, we'll be like hello, just very quickly. Hello.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, look, hey, right now, the rules say that there's no guests allowed on set, but maybe that'll be different once we start getting vaccinated and everything. I would be more than happy to have you guys on set eating crafty.
Yeah, yes. Thank you. Oh, well, no, now I'm happy that you asked the question because that's gonna be amazing.
All right, I have 2 more questions for him. I trust me, we have time.
Okay, we have time.
Fine, I guess
We have time.
It's funny
So
when
you talked about all these
Oh,
hats
you-
that you
you
wear.
have
I just want to know, do you see yourself as a director first or a writer first?
Ooh, a director first, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I love to write. I have since I was very young. I think that writing is an incredible form of expression, but I have not dedicated myself to writing. And whenever I meet a writer, especially a screenwriter, there's just really it's just hours at the grindstone, right? And somebody who is a writer first and foremost really has figured out how to get has figured out how to get words to action to meaning, and meaning to story. So I very much like to partner with writers. I have written things that have gotten published, but when it comes to screenwriting, I very much like to find somebody who is only focused on that. Which is harder these days because so many people want to be a director, and I want to commiserate with that. It's a very powerful feeling to want something like that. But it's better to find somebody who is the thing that they want to be first, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So then,
Yeah.
just segue question, how would a screenwriter connect with you? What's the best way, your preferred method for them to connect with you?
Oh, okay.
Say
So
it loud because I'm a potential screenwriter. I joke with
We're
you.
joking.
We're joking.
Oh no.
No.
We're here for the fast services.
Yeah.
We're not here for anything else.
No, for sure. Okay? So 9 times out of 10, the best way to get in touch with any professional in this industry is to just do that. Is to just we live in an age of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram.
Right,
so
but
on
we're
and so
asking
forth.
about you. What's your preferred method?
My preferred method is I like to get recommended by somebody.
So you want a referral. That is your
I-
recommend.
I like a referral because a
Okay.
referral, it's like
You
renting
don't
an
have to
apartment.
explain, it's vetted.
Sure. Yeah.
That is absolutely and it's understandable, and that's
mean,
really good advice for people out there that are now like screenwriters and trying to get their things heard. That's a really good piece of advice. Maybe you need to have a recommendation, so maybe you need to get around other screenwriters and work on your craft and get to know.
Definitely.
Right. I just took a Stage 32 workshop today, and they just talked about the importance of networking and meeting these people and knowing them, not for 5 minutes and pitching your story to them, but knowing them for years because you've been in this network together and you've been working on their projects and they work on yours. It's a network. It's not, what can you do for me, you know?
Right. No, absolutely. Stage 32 is a great resource. I offer my services sometimes on Stage 32. A little bit less and less these days because it is there are a lot of people. But look, it's as simple as one of the reasons why and by the way, I'm very thankful for you guys inviting me to your show. But one of the reasons why you do shows like this and you meet people like yourselves is to expand your network. This isn't just me shooting the breeze for 40 minutes. This is me also putting myself out there, because you never know who you're going to meet, you know. There's a certain level. I still don't know how you found me. So, and I don't want,
because they are amazing at that. Okay. They are amazing at finding people.
I figured it out after you finally figured out how I found you. So you happen to be Facebook friends with a director's boyfriend that we really like. And we were like, if they're friends and he does this and he's teaching over here, we like him.
We have to know
because
him.
That person would never be friends with a jerk. So it works.
Vetted, see, vetted.
Right.
But yeah, like, but you know, it's twofold. I'm glad to come on here, and I'm also happy to, you know, anybody that reaches out. It takes an enormous amount of courage to be able to do that. And, you know, I mean, you literally don't ever know what's going to happen. So I try to make myself available as much as I can.
Oh, thank you.
We appreciate that you were available today.
Yes,
thank you for giving the time change. Yeah.
And for doing an extra 30 minutes.
Also,
I'm so sorry.
We have to get the website one more time so people can check out everything, the wonderful work that you were doing. What's the website?
Sure. It's just my name, bomanmodine.com. And it's about to get a whole bunch of new updates to it, because it's pretty old right now. And yeah, got to get more of the new information for the projects that are about to come out.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for taking this moment and coming on with us. Tanya, where can people find out more about you?
Yeah, Tanya.
I'm on social media at Ms. Tanya Todd, and my website is www.mstanyatodd.com.
IMDb. IMDb.
And you can find me on IMDb.
There you go.
There you go. How can they find you on IMDb?
By just searching my name, TonyATODD. Thank you. They are my big promoters here.
So I mean, because of
respect.
How many clicks you get? Tanya needs some clicks. Y'all just go on it, click on her name a couple of times.
I make sure I do it every day.
I do it every day. Wake up in the morning.
You know
it's
what?
like,
thank you.
Go click on Tanya.
And
my agent thanks you. My manager thanks you, and I thank you.
I do it every day. So maybe y'all can do it too. So I'll just go ahead.
Not every day, but once a month we'll do just fine.
You don't have to do it every day. We're devoted, but you know. Y'all can just do it something.
They will be at my crafty cart, is all I'm saying.
They will be.
And it will be in the corner, like shoving in food. It's going to be fabulous. Life is going to be so good.
Why are there 2 lobster servings? Just shh.
Jade, would you like to wrap us up?
Absolutely. You can find out everything your ladies are doing, even the shenanigans we pull trying to get to craft services on www.andwethought.com. While you're there, take a moment, go to the homepage, Winona.
And then you can listen to the script that I wrote that professional actors read.
As an old-time show, like an old-time radio show. But more importantly than all of that, y'all, take a moment, go to the ladies tab, go to the middle and see the charities that we probably support. Maybe you can support them too. Even if it's just a kind note that says, thank you for doing the wonderful work in the world. We would really appreciate that. And just remember, y'all, wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Winona
and Jade. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah, thanks for listening.